Sometimes motivation comes from a purpose, from a noble idea. Sometimes it comes from deep frustration or disappointment. Hello and welcome, I am Sadhika Tiwari and you're watching Eco India. For real change to happen, motivation needs to come from within, from a place that is authentic and deeply felt. When that happens, our actions stretch beyond our own lives and touch communities, inspire others, and bring about a change that is way bigger than ourselves. That is the power of motivation when it meets action. Once these communities relied entirely on the forests even for their survival, taking from it little by little. For decades, the damage was gradual. But then, commercial pressures and climate change accelerated this decline and stripped away the very balance this forest once had. Today, these same communities are conserving and protecting these lands, not because they have to, but because they want to.
The sun finally breaks through after months of heavy rain in Maharashtra's Satara district. For Santosh Kadam, it marks a change from planting to nurturing growth. Once a migrant laborer in Mumbai and Chiplun, Santosh now leads afforestation efforts in his home village of Nachal.
It has been 7 years since I started working here. I have benefited a lot. We have around 23 to 25 people working on this plantation. I was first given 35 acres to manage. We did a good job, and then I began to manage 100 acres of land.
The land he works on lies between two wildlife sanctuaries, Koina and Chandoli. But unlike other protected zones, these plots are privately owned and have suffered years of environmental damage.
These are mostly non-agricultural lands, so people want to get some kind of returns from these lands. And the traditional practice was to cut the forest on these lands at regular intervals and sell them for firewood or similar, maybe for making charcoal, etc. So initially, for a few cycles, maybe it remains sustainable. But when you cut these trees again and again, then at some point the forest starts becoming degraded and it gets converted to, say, bushy kind of vegetation and eventually to grasslands.
Once part of a thriving forest, the land here was stripped bare, reduced to dry, degraded patches. Now, Santosh is helping to turn that around. The project is funded mainly through corporate social responsibility contributions, a model where businesses invest in social and environmental initiatives. These funds support local workers who are restoring the landscape, planting native trees and bringing biodiversity back.
The work is ongoing according to the seasons. We were very poor before, but because of this work, our situation has improved from before.
Today, up to 200 people work on these plantations. The non-profit Wildlife Research and Conservation Society has become the region's largest employer.
So initially when we started doing plantation, there were some worries among the local people that, when we give the land for plantation, like, are we going to, take ownership of the land or something? But now they have developed confidence in us and they don't have any such worries now.
It all starts with saplings. They are first grown in nurseries, many set up as part of the project. After several months to a year, they are planted and carefully tended to.
Once we do a plantation, it continues to give employment to people in that area for a period of 3 years. And so that is the immediate benefit that the community gets from these plantations. And the kind of trees that we plant are mostly economically useful. They are native tree species which enrich the biodiversity of this region, but they are also economically useful and economically important in the sense that they yield various kinds of forest produce, like fruits, seeds, etc.
Since its launch in 2014, the Koina Chandoli project has reforested over 900 acres across 18 villages. In the long run, it aims to generate income through sustainable harvesting of forest produce. But even now, the impact is tangible. Many families are already seeing financial relief. Among them is Santosh's wife Neeta, who also works for the project.
The money I get is helpful for children's education. The money I earn from this work. If there is something I need in the house, I'm able to buy that. If there is any emergency, then the money I get from working can be used for that.
In remote areas like this, long-term employment is rare. Men often migrate for work, leaving women behind.
We used to sell wood. That was our only option.
More than 10 years in, the impact is clear. The soil is healthier and wildlife is returning. Today, 80% of the workforce is female. Many of those who once survived by cutting down trees are now helping them grow.
We now plant trees, nurture them. We will now get fruits from these trees. There's guava, there's black plum. When the trees grow, we will get to eat these fruits.
A little over 200 kilometers further north in Loni Kalbhor near Pune, sustainability consultant Shantanu Goel is testing a similar model with a focus on faster returns.
The main idea is to show a forestry model, a production forestry model, and we are using a private land for that. What we are doing is, wherever we used to do agriculture, the flatlands, there we are going in for growing napier, which is going to go either for fodder or for biofuel industry. And then the other part of the thing is, wherever we have sloping lands, we will be doing a lot of tree plantations. Again, the tree plantations will be of two types. One will be for timber, so about 60% may be timber, and 40% would be horticultural species. So it will be mainly for getting returns out of this land.
To make his model work, Shantanu Goel's top priority is water.
So a lot of afforestation projects do not have a very strong focus on water, and that's why a lot of projects fail and they do not give the sort of returns that you're looking at.
He's already dug 2 reservoirs and tapped into deeper rock layers to store cooler water with less evaporation. His goal is to speed up afforestation and make the model financially self-sustaining.
What we are doing is, once we do the water, we are increasing the pace at which the afforestation happens, and the biodiversity comes back to this place.
In both Satara and Loni Kalbhor, the mission is clear: making conservation work for communities by giving people a reason to protect their forests.
Sometimes the people who shape change are guided by something way bigger than themselves, a deep sense of purpose, the values that they were raised with, or a strong belief in the power of their own actions. Dr. Vasanti Rao is one such person. From learning many things from her father while growing up to founding Asia's largest environmental film festival, she spent decades turning her convictions into action. Her journey shows us how true values, when paired with action and dedication, can really inspire a big change across generations. Let's go meet her.
So every year, since we were little girls, my parents used to take us to our grandparents' house in the village in Andhra. I used to make friends with all the children in the village and saw the hard life that they lived. And the disparity hit me. The disparity of urban, rural, the disparity of rich and poor, the disparity of caste. Whether you see the beggars in Delhi or you see children on the street or in the railway station, you feel, why should they be begging? You know, and that really somehow was always bothered me.
This was when Vasanti Rao realized that she wanted to create a better future for children. In 1991, she co-founded the Center for Media Studies in Delhi, a multidisciplinary non-profit organization known for promoting environmental awareness, enhancing media literacy among children, and fostering public dialogue through films, festivals, debates, and publications.
So in our big family, we are the only two girls. While my parents, both my mom and dad, are very progressive, it's only the extended family who were all with boys who felt privileged. Especially our parents were made to realize that you have two girls, and so you're not equal.
Her father, Dr. N. Bhaskara Rao, is a renowned sociologist and researcher. When she was a kid, Vasanti was in awe of her strict, disciplined father. When he was going through a low phase in life, it was Vasanti who pushed him and assisted him to establish the Center for Media Studies.
Vasanti has been here for 35 years, and I've seen how she transformed herself. I have seen her emerge as a leader, true leader. Research is always a team effort, and the team need to be taken along, and everybody need to be motivated. And she is very good in motivating people to go along with a task, with a mission.
I think almost 10, 15 years that I started working with him, that I did this particular conference on my own. It was an international conference in Hyderabad where about 7, 8 guests had come from all over the world, and it was a great success. And he just came as a guest, and he was so surprised with the level and the value and the outcome of the whole thing, that I think that was the first time he and I sat together, and he asked me, "Would you like to have a drink?" That's when I realized things had changed. I was somebody who had earned a position to be with him.
In 2002, they launched Asia's largest environment film festival, CMS Vatavaran, with editions not only in India but also in countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Abu Dhabi, and Brazil. For years, CMS Vatavaran has been a platform for environmental and wildlife filmmakers, helping build a vibrant community. Akansha Sood Singh, known for her award-winning documentaries, has been part of it for over 2 decades.
It's a great platform for filmmakers like us to showcase our work to a very diverse audience. You know, there are institutes, NGOs, government organizations, school children, college children. So many diverse people come over here and they get to see our films. And I think that as a filmmaker is the biggest incentive for us to be here.
Despite her success as a founder, Vasanti Rao faced professional challenges, often being questioned about her position and having her caliber doubted, which made her work even more difficult and challenging. Not just that, in her personal life too, she has faced patriarchal barriers.
So when I got married, it was suddenly expected that not think of work as the primary goal, but as the family as the primary goal. Yes, of course, for me, children are precious, family is precious, the support is very precious, love is very precious, but more important is what is the purpose of my life. All the other things, just support it. And that's when you start realizing what it means to be a girl in India, because that's who we are. Thank God things have changed since then. But that discrimination exists, I think, to some extent even today, but it was much more pronounced in my time at least.
Behind Dr. Vasanti Rao's resilience and drive have been the women in her life. Her mother helped raise her son, and her grandmothers, who ran their home while their husbands were busy with official duties, taught her not just to survive, but to thrive. Carrying forward that strength, Dr. Rao has become an inspiration for many girls and women, proving that women with determination and empathy can bring about lasting change. She is actively involved with the International Union for Conservation of Nature through its Commission on Education and Communication, and now leads IUCN's global program, Nature for All, an initiative that seeks to connect children and young people with nature, helping them experience, understand, and protect the natural world. Her vision remains unwavering to use the power of media and storytelling to inspire awareness and accountability, influence policy, and reconnect people with nature, leading towards a more livable, greener, and healthier planet.
Then we have to keep reminding ourselves that you're doing it not because you expect something in return, but because it's part of your purpose. So I'll continue my mission irrespective of whether it's internal conflicts, challenges, hurdles, whatever, or external challenges that we will continue to expect.
For many women in Kolkata's red light districts, choice has never been a part of their story. Across the world, many women are often forced to do work that is often undervalued or exploitative. In India, many NGOs are helping such women find an escape. In our next story, this escape goes through recycling and upcycling. These women are trying to rewrite their narrative, and their story isn't just about survival anymore. It's about independence.
My grandmother was involved in this profession in the red light district. My aunt got sold in Shonagachi, Kolkata's largest red light district, at the age of 11. That's when my struggle started. I was training here at the NGO for nearly a year. Now I have passed the exams. I have moved on to production work. She doesn't want to be recognized. She wants to leave her old life behind in the red light districts of Kolkata. Like many other women involved in social programs, she's found new prospects at the NGO Hamari Muskan. In small workshops, they turn fabric scraps, paper waste, and old glass bottles into handmade products like bags, clothing, and home accessories. What was once trash becomes a resource and the foundation of a new life. The megacity of Kolkata, capital of the Indian state of West Bengal, produces about 4,500 tons of waste every day, including a lot of textile waste. Across India, it amounts to around 7.8 million tons annually. Less than 5% is recycled, often only in small projects. This is not the case at the NGO Destiny Foundation and Reflection in Kolkata. Here, old saris are recycled into stylish bags. Women who have been rescued from sex trafficking work here, building new lives for themselves. They take pride in their work, saving products from the scrap heap and giving them a new life. From one sari, we can make at least 5 bags. If the bags are intricate, we can make 10 to 15 a day. If they're easier to make, 3 girls working together can make 30 bags a day. Destiny Foundation and Reflection is more than an NGO. It's a social business with international sales. Recycling is at the heart of our social business. We work on 1,500 to 2,000 saris a year and make 4,000 to 5,000 products. We have connections with ethical distributors who buy and sell these products in Europe, the USA, and Canada. Dhapa is Kolkata's largest landfill. Originally designed for 2,500 tons of waste a day, it now receives over 5,000 tons. Families with children live in the surrounding areas. Children are the focus of the NGO Tanu's Vocational Training Society. They wear clothes that their mothers sew from fabric scraps, also learning about how to reduce waste. These children are the faces of the Khude collection, meaning the little ones in Bengali. This work helps women support their families and fund their children's education. Teaching kids early about sustainability is also the goal of an initiative developed by sustainability expert Shadhan Kumar Ghosh. It now reaches over 300 schools across India.
The way we are doing, we must change our mindset. In the mission, Catch Them Young, Zero Waste and Circular Economy in Campus, what is being done in that mission? The school level children are given the concept of waste management and circular economy.
A circular economy is also about creating new opportunities. We are back at the NGO Destiny Foundation and Reflection, where women rescued from sex trafficking are sewing bags made from recycled saris.
We are able to touch around
1,500 families' lives. 95% of our beneficiaries said that they could avoid exploitation or re-trafficking. My landlady forced my mother to work. I saw her grow older as she continued to work. I decided I needed to get a job. Then I got a job here. It's been about 10 to 12 years since I left that area. Now, my mother is safe. And so am I.
In Marburg, a group of divers have turned exactly this frustration into real action. Weekends are now spent clearing the river bit by bit, and this has grown into a community effort, showing how even small acts of care can ripple out and inspire real change.
Lurking in the River Lahn, stuck deep in the mud, an old truck tyre. A challenge for the Lahn divers, a volunteer group aiming to clean up the river in their city. We all know rivers flow into the sea, so if you clean the rivers, you prevent microplastics and waste from entering the sea. That has a positive impact there too. A cut from broken glass in the river sparked the group's founding in the city of Marburg in 2020. The injured woman set out with friends to clean up the swimming area and found the river was a dump. Jonas has been part of the team for 3 years. He takes care of salvaging and transportation. We've just found a trumpet. That's pretty unusual. We more often find bicycles and roadwork signs. Underwater visibility is extremely poor, dangerous for divers who can get tangled up in fishing lines. So they use oxygen tanks, even though the river here is only 1.5 meters deep. World War II munitions can also turn up, but finds are often more mundane. So far, the environmentalists have recovered around 20 tons of waste in over 100 dives. Every bit of waste removed counts. It's a huge task, but the Lahn divers have set themselves a clear goal: to free their river of trash. 60% of the rubbish is scrap metal, thoughtlessly tossed into the river, out of sight, out of mind. Raising public awareness of this fragile, complex habitat is just as important. Here's a European crayfish. Like many of her fellow divers, Annika is training to be a biologist. We have native mussel species. They filter water. If there are microplastics in the water, they filter less. These mussels can actually ensure our water is clean, but they can't if they can't filter. It's a bit frustrating when we see, often near bridges, 3 more shopping carts and 2 more bikes, where we just cleared a month ago. Educating the public is as vital as the dives themselves. At their information stand, the Lahn divers showcase their most unusual finds. They have more than 15,000 followers on Instagram. Well-known green influencers like marine biologist Robert Mark Lehmann also support their cause.
Herzlich willkommen zu einem neuen Video.
The group runs entirely on donations. In 2023, they won the Planet Hero Award and €110,000 in prize money. It came just in time, as diving and gear are costly. The Iran-born artist Ezan is also an integral part of the team. He's going to create a sculpture from the trash. First of all, it's about visualization. For example, 2 tons of rubbish means nothing. But when you see an image made from 2 tons of rubbish, you realize just how much it is. This time, Ezan is going to try his hand at recreating one of Marburg's landmarks, the Kaiser Wilhelm Tower. Over the course of the day, he pieces together a 12-meter-long mosaic from the mud-smeared objects a striking reminder of our throwaway culture. But the artwork too is short-lived. The very next morning, the scrap ends up at the local recycling centre.
That's all for today's episode. We've seen how motivation can spark real change. Small steps, when guided by purpose and a real sense of wanting to do something and support, can really transform communities, livelihoods, and even landscapes. Are you seeing any such efforts around you? Do let us know, and do not forget to follow us on our Instagram at DW_environment. Thank you so much for joining us. I will see you next week with more such stories. Until then, take care, goodbye, namaskar.